Lost streaks happen to everyone and can occur for many reasons. The causes can include everything from a week of poor performances to unlucky matchmaking. These streaks can even happen to the best players from time to time. Whatever the reason, lost streaks can kill your motivation to play, so what can you do to deal with them when they happen, and how can you bounce back without letting them affect your improvement? That's exactly what we're going to dive into today. I'm Chill, and let's get into it. If you're interested in free VOD reviews, check out my Discord in the description below. These will be done live on my stream every Friday. Just make sure to read the rules and requirements before submitting your VOD. All right, back to the video. I recently went on the longest lost streak I've ever had, and it prompted me to try and understand if I was the problem or if it was just out of my control. First off, lost streaks don't automatically mean you're getting worse at the game, but it's still important to reflect on these games by reviewing them to spot mistakes in your game and improve on them in future matches. Remember, like free wins, some games are automatic losses, but the close games where you feel you performed the best are usually the best to review. Lost streaks can happen for many reasons, but it's important to analyze the games you felt were partially in your control and looked at what you could have done better. This brings us to a concept I stumbled upon while trying to understand lost streaks in competitive games: the 40-40-20 rule. This quote-unquote rule was posted on the League subreddit years ago by a League player who wanted to stay untilted. Dignitus also wrote a more formal article about this that you can check out if you want. The rule states that assuming you're in the appropriate rank, 40% of the games you play will be wins no matter what you do, 40% will be losses no matter what, and 20% are in your control or can be influenced by you directly. The idea is that sometimes games will be carried by a smurf on either team, but assuming the players are of equal skill, the game can come down to you making the right play to win the game or a series of good decisions throughout the game. This can set your team up for success. If you win most of these 20% games, you will climb since you'll win more than 50%. Another player explained that since you are 1 out of 5 players on your team, you effectively make up 20% of the team, meaning 20% of what your team does is on you. It's an interesting way to look at ranked, and in practice you may have different results, but at the end of the day, if you are playing well consistently and improving as a player, your rank should reflect that over time. Being hardstuck just means you're not improving. It is a bit of a cope, and if you were to drop a Radiant player in a Diamond lobby, they wouldn't get hardstuck and would effectively carry most of their games. Will they lose some games? Sure, but they know that given enough games, they'll rank up quickly. Now that we have that out of the way, let's discuss how lost streaks can affect you as a player and how to deal with them when it happens. Losing can cause you to perform worse over the course of several games in one day. It can even cause you to become toxic towards your teammates. The frustration is real, but it'll only cause you to perform worse, so before it gets to you, mute your toxic teammate and try to work together to win. It's obviously easier said than done, and when the toxic player is being toxic, some might feel the damage is done at that point, and even if you do mute them, it's not really solving the core issue. That's a whole problem in and of itself, so we'll stick to what you can control. Some things you can consider doing are to say nice try when you lose rounds, and if you really want to point something out to your teammate you feel they're doing wrong, like contesting at the start of every round, don't tell them to stop. Offer to help them with utility so it doesn't happen again, or just play with them so you can trade them out. If the toxicity is aimed towards you, you can say something like, "My bad, I'll throw that smoke earlier next round, I got you." Or, "Yo, Sky, can you flash out the smoke next round? I'll TP onto site." Ensuring your tone isn't passive aggressive or condescending as well can go a long way. Going about it this way may disarm your teammates and make them feel like you want to help them. I'll be the first to admit teammates can affect me emotionally when they make a stupid play, abuse comms, or blame me for something. When this happens during the game, it's essential to de-escalate when possible and even take responsibility for a mistake a teammate thinks you made. Sometimes they're valid, sometimes not, but even if they're not, don't try to argue with them because it'll probably just make things worse. If you still feel tilted by these games after they're over, the best thing you can do is not queue again. Taking a mini break between games or even rounds can do wonders for your mental health as well as your performance and learning. Here's Metadoc talking about this exact concept.
Any type of like small relief of rest from information allows your brain to kind of repeat it. They've even shown that like if you're practicing, you're playing Valorant intensely, let's say that you finished a round, you don't even have to be thinking about the next round. If you can just like lay back and just come, I don't know, stare out the window, even doing that micro rest interval helps your brain kind of like replay a lot of the things and consolidate things. So rest in between is like extremely OP, and people don't take moments to do that. And usually the best breaks are either meditate, take a nap for like 10 10 minutes or whatever. Naps, it depends. If you get really drowsy, then maybe that's not the best. Most likely the best thing is like a motor action. So things like walking or jogging or doing some kind of form of exercise. The worst thing you can do for a break is you're still keeping your brain active, so you're not doing any of the resting and you're not letting any information consolidate.
There's a ton of great info in this video if you want to know more about how to optimize your learning as a Valorant player, as well as some tips on just how to be more consistent. So I highly recommend listening to the full video. Link will be in the description. 1 week of bad performance does not indicate that you're getting worse or not improving. If you are actively learning a new skill, like improving your gunfight mechanics or opping, you may get worse before you get better. Give yourself time to adjust to this new skill. Once you adapt and learn that new skill, you will start to make noticeable gains again, but it's a slow process. Here's one more clip from Metadoc about the concept of one-tricking.
People who kind of just always flex and do different roles, the problem with that is like each character is a different style, different macro, and even different mechanics in a lot of the times. So let's say that your jet level is here. If you suddenly go to Cypher, you have to go down here. The mechanical skills that translate to each other is just this much, and the rest is you have to redo it. If you change from a different character, that's going to interrupt kind of like the subconscious things that you usually normally do.
Another way to not let loss streaks impact your games is by understanding the benefits of being process-oriented as opposed to results-oriented. I made another video about this concept, so if you want the full breakdown, check out that video next. But in summation, when you're results oriented, you'll tend to think more about things like the outcome of the match, your KD, the fact you missed a shot you should have hit, etc. This can cause you to perform worse and put more pressure on yourself to achieve the result. If you're thinking about the result, you aren't really thinking about what you need to get there. When you're process-oriented during the game, you're focusing on things like your gunfight mechanics, coming up with strategies, and trying to read the enemy. Outside the game, you're VOD reviewing, aim training, studying pros, etc. This will help you stay focused on your improvement rather than the outcome of a single match or loss streak. Staying process-oriented will help you earn the rank you think you deserve. This huge loss streak was an eye-opener, and to be honest, I'm glad it happened because without it, I wouldn't have felt the need to reflect and attempt to understand the cause. This reflection helped me learn new things about having a growth mindset and helped me put the streak into perspective. I'll focus on what I can control, like analyzing my VODs, practicing my aim, and continuing down my path of improvement. Individual games or even loss streaks don't define my improvement as a player. Setbacks happen, but I'll stay focused on the process and keep working hard to become an Immortal Astra player. Nice, GG. The loss streak is over. The loss streak is over. And that's going to be it for this one. If you enjoyed the video, drop a like and let me know in the comments what you'd like to see from me in the future. Subscribe for more guides like this one, and make sure to check out my Astra to Immortal playlist if you'd like to see how I got to this point and how the climb has gone so far. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.